Liam always tried to understand adults, even though he was only 10 years old. He was a typical fourth grader who loved soccer and reading adventure books. Every day after school, his house stood quiet and empty because his parents, Michael and Anna, worked late hours managing a small bakery in Glenwood, Connecticut. Their workdays often stretched into the evening to ensure Liam had everything he needed. When the school bus dropped Liam off at 3 p.m., he knew he would be alone until 6 p.m. That loneliness often made him uneasy. "I don't like being alone every day," Liam would sigh as his mom prepared him dinner. "We understand, sweetheart," Anna would say with a gentle smile, though there was a hint of guilt in her voice. "But we need to work. It's just for a few hours." Liam understood but secretly wished his parents could be around more often. One evening, Anna came up with an idea. "Liam, we've arranged for our neighbor, Emily, to watch you after school. She's really nice, and you'll be safe with her." Emily, a cheerful woman in her late 20s, lived across the street. She was always friendly and would often wave at Liam or offer him a cookie when they crossed paths. Trusting her, Liam's parents thought it was the perfect solution. The next afternoon, Liam walked to Emily's house instead of staying home alone. Her home was cozy, filled with the smell of fresh coffee and baked goods. She greeted him with her usual warm smile. "Come on in, Liam. How was school today? You must be hungry." At first, Liam felt a little shy, but Emily quickly made him feel at home. She let him watch cartoons, played board games with him, and even surprised him with a shiny new soccer ball. Liam started to think spending time with Emily wasn't so bad after all. However, as days turned into weeks, Emily's behavior began to feel off. One afternoon, after Liam finished his homework, Emily sat beside him on the couch, her expression strangely serious. "Liam," she began softly, "I have a special game for us to play. But it's just for the two of us. You can't tell anyone about it, okay?" Liam hesitated, confused by her tone. He trusted Emily, but something about her words unsettled him. "What kind of game?" he asked nervously. "You'll see. Don't worry, it'll be fun," Emily assured him with a strange smile. At first, Liam went along, unsure of how to say no. But as the game progressed, her requests began to make him feel more uncomfortable. Emily's tone was soft, almost coaxing, but her words and actions left Liam feeling trapped. Every time the school bus dropped him off at her house, a sense of dread grew in his chest. Emily would greet him as usual, give him snacks, and then suggest they play her special games. It wasn't long before Liam began walking slower as he approached her door, wishing he could turn back. One evening, lying in bed, Liam couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. He felt scared and confused, unsure of how to talk to his parents about it. "They'll be upset," he thought, pulling the blanket over his head. The next day at school, Liam's teacher, Mrs. Davis, noticed that he was unusually quiet. "Liam, is everything okay?" she asked gently during lunch. "I'm fine," Liam mumbled, avoiding her gaze. But his teacher wasn't convinced. During lunch the following day, Mrs. Davis found Liam sitting alone again. She sat beside him and spoke softly. "Liam, you've seemed a bit distracted lately. If something's bothering you, you can tell me. I promise I'll listen." Liam hesitated, glancing around to make sure no one could overhear. Finally, in a barely audible whisper, he said, "Emily does things I don't like. I feel scared." Mrs. Davis's expression shifted instantly to one of concern. She placed a reassuring hand on Liam's shoulder. "Thank you for telling me, Liam. You're very brave. I'm going to help." True to her word, Mrs. Davis reported the situation to the school counselor, who contacted Child Protective Services. That evening, a social worker visited Liam's home and explained everything to his parents. Michael and Anna were heartbroken, realizing they hadn't noticed what Liam had been enduring. They hugged him tightly, apologizing over and over. Emily was arrested and faced legal consequences for her actions. Meanwhile, Liam's parents made significant changes in their schedules, ensuring one of them was always home when he returned from school. They also enrolled him in therapy to help him process what had happened. Adjusting to the changes in his family's schedule wasn't easy at first for Liam, but he slowly started to feel safer. His parents made a point to spend more time with him, and he began to open up about his experiences in therapy. The sessions helped him untangle the feelings of confusion and fear that Emily's actions had caused. Liam's therapist encouraged him to talk about what had happened in a way that made him feel empowered. "You did something very brave, Liam," she said one day. "Speaking up not only helped you, but it might help other kids too. You could inspire them to do the same." That idea stayed with Liam. At first, it seemed impossible. He had never been one to speak in front of others, and the thought of sharing something so personal was intimidating. But as time went on, he realized that by sharing his story, he could help others feel less alone. When his school organized an assembly on safety and speaking out, Liam asked his parents if he could participate. They were surprised but supportive. "If you're ready, we're with you every step of the way," his mom assured him. The day of the assembly arrived, and Liam stood backstage, his heart racing. He clutched a piece of paper with notes he'd written, though he wasn't sure he'd be able to read them without trembling. Peeking out from behind the curtain, he saw the rows of students and teachers, their faces expectant. "Hi, I'm Liam," he began, his voice wavering slightly but growing steadier with each word. "I want to talk about something that happened to me, something I didn't know how to deal with at first. But I learned that it's okay to speak up, even when it's hard." As he continued, Liam shared his journey, the fear and confusion he had felt, the courage it took to tell someone, and how much better his life became once he had. "If something ever happens that makes you feel scared or uncomfortable, you can tell someone. It's not your fault, and you're not alone." When he finished, the auditorium erupted into applause. Liam's parents sat in the front row, tears in their eyes as they watched their son stand tall. His words had not only moved the audience but also marked a turning point in his own healing journey. Over the next few weeks, Liam's story spread throughout the school. His courage inspired other students to speak up about their own struggles. The school counselor reported that more kids were coming forward, sharing things they had been too scared to talk about before. One afternoon, Mrs. Davis approached Liam in the hallway. "You've made such a difference, Liam. I'm so proud of you," she said, smiling warmly. Liam smiled back, feeling a sense of pride and relief he hadn't experienced in a long time. For the first time, he didn't feel defined by what had happened to him. Instead, he felt strong, knowing that his bravery had helped others find their own voices. From that day on, Liam continued to grow, surrounded by the love and support of his family. Though the memory of what he endured would always be with him, he chose to use it as a source of strength, a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's always a way forward.